So you will recall from the previous lesson that when we imported the lockbox file and then got it to post, initially unapplied AR, then we actually got the amounts posted and applied to our customer number, the 1710001 customer. Although the payments are posted and they were now on account with the customer, they weren't actually matching any invoices. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use this manual matching process, the F-32 that you learned about in an earlier lesson, to be able to do that matching. So as we discussed, the file's been imported and the payments cannot be auto-matched. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the manual matching process. We're going to find a single open invoice for $6,000 and we're going to match it with 4 payments, i.e. 4 separate checks that came from the bank lockbox. So let's have a look at that. So remember the account transaction for displaying line items, and then we've got the clearing transactions. Let's first look at the line items so we can see what we're trying to clear. So put in our customer account, click open items and execute. And if we look here, we'll see under the document type where we've got various documents. We've got the the DR documents, manual invoices. We've got the RVs, automated invoices, and then you'll see we've got what we've then created, all these DZs. These are all the payments that came from the lockbox. I'll just highlight this. So this is everything that automatically got posted from the lockbox to the customer account from the previous lesson. So they're all showing as open items because they haven't been matched to individual invoices. If I double click on one of those payments and just go to the overview, you'll see here where we've got the AR unapplied checks and the customer account. So that's really where we're sitting at the moment. So that's just to give you an idea of what we're looking at, where because there wasn't a match, but the payments are sitting on the account. So let's now have a look at how we can then actually clear and match those using F-32. It's a fairly simple procedure. Just select the customer number, click Process Open Items, and now as we scroll down here, remember this shows what's in the open item list. Let's find some of those DZ documents which we know were the payments. And what we're going to do is we can double click on each one we want to select. So here we've selected 1200. Now we've got 1400. Let's just keep adding on, select 4 invoices for a total of $6,000. So now that we've got $6,000 worth of DZs or payments, we can then find an invoice for $6,000 that we can match. So now we go down the list here. I found an invoice for $6,000, which was the DR and manual invoice. So I'm just going to double click that line. So now we've assign that to. So now the assignments are all matching, but there's a zero balance overall. We've got the 6,000 invoice, we've got our 4 payments, and now simply click the post button to post that document. And then this will then match those open items for us. So once that processes, we'll then get a document number, and then we can then go and display the open items and then see what that looks like on the customer open item list. Because remember, when you do this, then the DZs will then become cleared and you won't keep on seeing a list of open items. So here the document is posted. So now I'm simply going to go back one to the main menu, and if I'm going to display customer line items again and enter the customer number, and I'm going to run this for open items, you'll see that a lot of those DZs have now disappeared. There are still some payments that haven't been applied yet, but the ones that we chose, the 4 of them, were cleared. To see that, if we choose all items and execute that, we'll then scroll down here into the green section or the cleared items, and we can then clearly see where the DZ documents, the 4 of them, or the 4 payments from the lockbox that we picked, have now been matched to this DR invoice or the 6,000. So all of those items now are matched and cleared. Now we can just go back to the main menu. So it's a fairly simple procedure then to do that manual matching to clean up that customer account. So that's the end of that lesson. Now, just some comments about the bank account flow. Different companies have different procedures, so it's going to be very specific to your company on how many bank accounts you have, how many clearing accounts you have, and how many final bank accounts you have. So you might have a lockbox clearing account, a final account, and you might have processes where you're transferring amounts between bank accounts, like some kind of cash sweeping process. So we're not covering all of those variants in this lesson because it's so specific to every company, but just be aware that these variants do exist. The principles are the same though, so you need to speak to your internal treasury or AR department to find out what your specific procedures are. And again, although the lockbox process is specific to the US and it's around check payments, the principles behind getting electronic payments from a bank statement or from a lockbox are the same, and SAP does have transactions to support those processes. And all the matching and clearing processes are the same regardless of of how the data got imported from the bank.